Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping headfirst into some really fascinating material. It's your analysis of WrestleMania Night 1.
Yeah, it's quite the breakdown.
Our mission really is to unpack those standout moments, maybe the surprising shifts, and sort of figure out what it all means for, the bigger picture in pro wrestling.
It's a really compelling look at how these narratives, they don't just get told, they kind of evolve in real time, sometimes with these totally unexpected twists. We're going to go beyond just the results, really dig into the subtle storytelling, the cues, the dramatic turns that happened during, well, a massive event.
Okay, so as we kick this off then, what immediately jumps out at you from this Night 1 analysis? Where should we start?
Well, I think we have to start right at the top, right?
Yeah.
With Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
His whole saga.
Yeah, okay. So one thing the source picks up on right away is this surprising return of that classic Roman Reigns energy. The 2017, 2018 big dog era where he'd carry whole matches, take a beating, but always come back strong. That vibe was there initially.
But what's so striking, I think, is the contrast. Because even with that familiar intensity, the analysis puts him squarely in a tag team match on the kickoff show for Night 1.
Right.
That's a huge shift for someone who's main evented WrestleMania so many times. And it almost feels like they were intentionally maybe presenting the face of the company differently.
And, okay, here's where it gets really interesting according to the source. Roman didn't even get pinned in the loss. He took a spear, but got counted out.
Yeah, the source mentions a different vibe from him too, like almost rushed, not quite in control.
And then that really wild moment that sealed it. Jey Uso returns, hits him with the spear, then the frog splash. Roman takes the fall, but it felt really deliberate, impactful.
And that immediately flags a major shift in his character arc, doesn't it? Roman used to fight for his family. That was his whole identity.
Totally.
Now the story is his own family is fighting against him. That's profound. It raises this huge question, where does Roman Reigns even go from here? When his core motivation is flipped upside down.
Yeah, what's next for him? And the source also mentioned some other wild moments in that match. Braun Breaker really standing out.
Oh yeah, Breaker looked incredible. Powerful moves, maybe even looked like he hurt himself at one point, just going all out.
And Roman's dive, that Undertaker-style dive outside.
Impressive, dangerous, but he managed to control himself midair. It showed he still has that ability, even if the story is shifting.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. The source highlighted something kind of curious in the card layout. Back-to-back women's tag matches.
Right. First up was Alexa Bliss and Scarlett challenging Judgment Day Raquel and Roxanne for the women's tag team championships.
And that placement, like you said, kind of makes you wonder, how seriously is WWE treating these titles now? Well,
the analysis points to something maybe a bit different this time. There was a dedicated pre-match promo package, clear story beats. It suggests maybe a more focused effort, trying to elevate them.
And just as the source predicted, Alexa Bliss and Scarlett got the win. There was that funny little moment, too, where Alexa accidentally knocked Scarlett down, teased a bit of conflict.
Yeah, but Scarlett just, showed some maturity, shook it off, and they finished the match together.
And the celebration afterwards kind of hinted at that toxic but gold-winning friendship vibe the source mentioned.
Exactly. It's an interesting dynamic they're building, maybe a bit unconventional, but it could lead to some pretty compelling stuff down the line for the new champs.
Okay, next up was the third match, the final one, in the Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross series.
Right.
And the source felt pretty strongly this should have been Kross's win. I mean, Sami won the first one already.
Yeah, the thinking is Kross, he's got good promos, fan scene behind him.
Yeah.
He really needs that momentum from a big win.
So this loss, what does it signal?
Well, this is where booking gets tricky, doesn't it? It really impacts someone's trajectory. The analysis kind of suggests Kross's loss might even hint at him leaving WWE.
Really? Because of contract rumors and stuff?
Exactly. There's been talk. So a loss here feels significant. It raises that question about long-term planning for rising talent. Are they investing or letting guys slip?
That's a tough read. Is there maybe a chance it's a longer build, setting up some kind of redemption arc later instead of an exit?
It's possible, sure. Wrestling narratives can always pivot, that's the thing.
True.
But looking at it right now, the analysis leans towards a more, concerning outlook for Kross. He needs those big wins on big stages like WrestleMania to really break through. This didn't help.
Okay. Moving on then, Tiffany Stratton retained against Jade Cargill. The source didn't go super deep here, just noted online buzz wasn't too special.
Yeah, sounds like maybe it served its purpose as a title defense, but perhaps wasn't a huge narrative driver for the night.
It kind of highlights how these big shows balance things, right? Established names, rising stars, and then...
the celebrity attractions, exactly.
Speaking of which, we got Jelly Roll and Randy Orton taking on Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. The source mentions some wild moments here, including a not PG-rated viral spot from Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, he definitely pushed the boundaries with that one. Got people talking for sure.
But the surprising thing here was the result, wasn't it? Logan and Drew actually lost.
Right. You usually expect the celeb team, or at least the team with the big celebrity, to get the win in these spots.
Yeah, so that was an interesting twist. Subverting expectations, maybe setting up something new for Drew or Logan.
Could be. It definitely makes things less predictable.
Okay, now, the main event. Gunther versus CM Punk. The source called this pure cinema.
And honestly, that feels about right. It absolutely tore the house down. The intensity was just off the charts.
Gunther busted open. CM Punk looking like he was finally going to win the big one, the world title. The emotion was palpable.
It really was a masterclass in storytelling, just through the in-ring action. And Punk did win, new World Heavyweight Champion. The crowd went insane.
Yeah, that celebration.
Yeah, as the source meticulously points out, it was cut dramatically short. And then, bam, Seth Rollins walks out. No crutches. Cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Right. Remember that whole injury storyline? Him being on crutches earlier?
All an act. A brilliant setup.
It's just strategic deception at its absolute peak in wrestling. Rollins completely faked the injury to seize that perfect moment.
One of the biggest cash-ins maybe since, what, WrestleMania 31?
Easily.
Yep.
Up there with the most memorable and the result. Seth Rollins is the new World Heavyweight Champion. Again, just like that. SummerSlam 2025 becomes instantly iconic because of it.
Wow. Okay, so after all that, Night 1 gets a 7 out of 10 from the source. Called it decent.
Yeah, decent, but with the note that not all the matches felt truly WrestleMania level.
And the source even suggested it felt intentionally made a bit weaker.
Which leads to a really interesting conclusion in the analysis. Maybe it was a deliberate strategy by WWE.
Manage expectations for Night 1, maybe hold some things back to really build anticipation for Night 2, which, as we know, was hyped to have the real main event level action. It's about crafting that two-night story arc.
Okay, so wrapping this up. What does this all mean for you, the listener? WrestleMania Night 1, based on this analysis, gave us some huge character terms for Roman Reigns.
A potentially renewed focus on the women's tag titles.
Yeah.
Maybe more serious this time.
Some really surprising wins and losses that kind of defied the usual script.
Yeah, definitely.
And of course, one of the most shocking title changes we've seen in ages with that Seth Rollins cash-in.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Our deep dive into this breakdown really shows how every single match, every booking choice, even the placement on the card, it all feeds into this bigger, complex narrative.
Right.
The shifts, those unexpected twists, the high drama moments, it all works together to build excitement and completely redefine where these characters are heading.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like, how much of the story is planned out way in advance, and how much is actually flexible? How much do they adapt based on injuries or contracts, or even just how the crowd reacts?
That's the perennial question.
So what do you think is more impactful in wrestling storytelling? Is it that slow burn, the long-term character journey? Or is it that sudden, shocking moment nobody saw coming, the one that makes you jump out of your seat, something to chew on?